Okay, okay, so the first thing you want to do is get the glowforge processor. So go to the Autodesk site to where they store their CAM post processors. Here's the address at the top. And in the search, just start typing glowforge. You'll find the glowforge post processor and download it. And remember where you've downloaded it on your computer, obviously. Then go to Fusion. And in Fusion, you're going to need to specify where you store your post processors. There are many different ways to do that, but if you go to your preferences, on the main preference page under manufacturer, you can see I have cloud libraries enabled because I store mine in the cloud so that they're accessible from many different machines. Otherwise, you'll store it locally on your hard drive on the computer you're using. It doesn't really matter. So then you've designed this piece that you intend to cut out on the laser in Fusion. And what I've done is I've got some cutouts here and I've got some text to be engraved. It could be a picture, it could be anything. And you know how to do that by sketching. To create the SVG for glowforge, you're going to need to go into the CAM workspace, which has actually been relabeled as manufacturer. So you go to manufacture, and in manufacture, the first thing you have to do is set up a new setup. So you go to new setup, and you have to tell it what you're doing. And what you're doing is cutting. So you're going to say you're cutting, and you don't need to worry about the work coordinate system or anything else over here that's immaterial. You just say, okay. Now, once you've done that, you have to tell it what tool you're going to use to cut. Obviously, it's going to be the laser and where you need to cut. So you go to the cutting tool selection up here. And in tools, you say select. Now, you most likely won't have any tools already defined like I do. So you're going to create a new tool. So what you're looking for is the new water jet laser or plasma cutting tool. Select that, and you're going to define the tool. So if you go to General, you can type in a description over here. I'm going to put tutorial tool. If you go to the cutter side, you want to define that it's a laser cutter, and you want to put in the kerf that you've hopefully measured. On most glowforge things, it's 0.008, but yours will be whatever yours is. You can ignore the rest and just press OK. So we've defined the tutorial tool. We say OK. We've got the tool. It's selected. Then it gives you various cutting modes. There are lots of through cuts. So this is a cut all the way through. Really, the only difference in what it will do on the SVG is it'll color code it differently. And then on the glowforge, according to that color code, you can define how you want it to cut, what speeds, and what power that you intend to use. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose. However, if you are consistent about which ones you choose, you can set those up on your glowforge to automatically know what to do with those colors. So I'm going to actually go to etch, which is another word for engrave, if you like, because I'm going to do the engraving first. So I've told it what I want to do. I've told it what tool I'm going to use. We go to the geometry tab. We've got to tell it what it is we want to engrave. And it's this text here. So you see, if I highlight just the text and I click on it, it highlights there. We'll highlight that one, and we say OK. That's all you need to do there, and you can see that it's created a toolpath. That's the dark blue on my screen. The little yellow lines are the laser attract. You can ignore that. So we've done that. I've just clicked outside the area here. Now we want to create the cutouts for the whole thing. So we go back, 2D profile. The tool is already selected. It's going to be the same tool. I'm just going to use the high quality through. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You can ignore all these feed rates because you're going to set that on the glowforge. And once again, you go to geometry and just click on the line that you want cut out. You can see it's highlighted in blue here. I click it, it's now dark blue. And I'm going to cut the circle at the same time in the same cutout. Click it, whoops, click it, and it's dark blue. I'm just going to change the view to the top to point out one thing. This arrow on the inside of the cut means that it's actually going to offset your kerf to the inside of your geometry. That's not what you want if you want it to fit properly. You want it to cut on the outside of the geometry. So just click the arrow, it'll switch to the outside. On a circle, you want it to cut on the inside if you want to keep the geometry correct. So you leave it there, you press OK, and you can see it creates a toolpath. That's the blue line. If you go back to the default view, you'll see that it's actually offset. So you've done all the work now. Now it's time to actually export the SVG. So if you click on the setup here, you do need to click on the setup, and you go to post processor, which is up here. You go down and you find your post process. Mine, as I said, is stored in the cloud. So, and you can see I've got many others for different machines that I have, but you choose glowforge there. And if yours is not in the cloud, you need to know where on your disk it is, and you can find it. Output folder, this is where you want to save the SVG. I'm just going to leave it here for the moment. And program name or number you can change. This will be the SVG file, so we'll call it tutorial. And unclick that because you don't need that. And you click post. And it's now gone and created that SVG. There it is, tutorial SVG. This is where I'm saving it. So you want to replace it? Yes, I've replaced it. So now, if we go, I'm going to just use a SVG program to take a look at it. And I named it tutorial. There it is there. Let's say open. And my crappy SVG program doesn't want to open it, but it's there and it'll open on in the, what you call it, the glowforge site, which I can't actually show you because my glowforge is not very friendly, but there it is there. Let's see if I can open it in something else. I don't know what else I would open it with. Well, anyway, you can see it, there it is over there. And that will be imported into glowforge with exactly the correct dimensions that you need to cut it. And obviously in glowforge, you can change your specifications for cutting and power. Hope that helps you.